To be able to set breakpoints and troubleshoot your code, you're going to need something more than the ARM MBED compiler, and we're going to be using ARM KEIL. So if you go to this site here, you'll be able to download this. Now what they're going to ask you to do is to fill in your name, email, company, and so forth. And so for company, you can put in Seneca College. For job title, you can put in student, and you can put in the generic phone number for the college, 416-491-5050. You want to specify the Freedom K22F, and you don't need product updates for these guys. You can just hit submit. But what we really want is the mdk535.exe, so we'll click here, and we're going to say save file. And because this is Firefox we're using, we're going to download it and then just double click to install it. You're just going to say yes to the installer. It's going to come up with this screen here where we're going to say next. You're going to agree with the terms of the license. And notice here it's got pack, and this is where the packs are going to be put. We'll talk about that shortly. And this is where the core of KEIL 5 is going to go. And we're just going to say next and leave the defaults alone. And it's already pulled up all the information that you gave it in that sign-on page. Now at this point, you should have your Freedom K22 plugged into your PC, and you'll see why shortly. Now you can see here various packs are being installed. We don't need to see release notes, and we can just say finish. We're going to have at this point a pack installer. All we have to do to use this, we're going to say OK, and we're going to go up here and change it from devices to boards, and we're going to look for our Freedom K22, and there it is there. Click on here to open this up. Look at devices, look at this, and the one that we want is this guy here, the MK22FN512VLH12. So we're just going to double click there. Now over here, these are all up to date, so they've already been updated for us. So everything that we need for this, including the SimSysDAP, everything here has been installed, having our board plugged in. Now at this point we can close our pack installer, and the next step is to actually export a program from the MBED compiler and bring it into KEIL. Before exporting programs from the MBED Cloud Compiler to KEIL, what we're going to do in the downloads directory is create an mbed_keil directory. We're going to go here. Now what I've done with our lab 2a is I've just added a little bit of code here. I've said printf hi there world, and then everything else is pretty much the same. So what we're going to do is we're going to click up here, and we're going to right mouse click, and we're going to say export program. And even though there's a lot of places where we can export it, we're just going to use the very top option, which is Microvision, which is really KEIL. And we're going to export that, and we're going to say save file. We're going to go up here, we're going to right mouse click, open containing folder, and what we're going to do is right mouse click, and this is important, extract all. And we're going to extract it and browse this to, under downloads, the KEIL directory here, and say select folder and say extract. And so we're going to put everything into our KEIL directory. As we can see here, this is in our KEIL directory. Now we just double click, and to launch KEIL and get it working, all we have to do is go here and double click here, and it launches KEIL. And KEIL then will allow us, it brings in our project here. There it is. And at this point, what we have to do is the third icon over from the left, we click here. And if everything works, we should get 0 errors, and who knows, a number of warnings. Then we can say debug and start debug. Now if there's an error here as it is, we can then say OK, OK. And what we have to do is go up to Flash, configure Flash tools. Let's check the device. The device here is not the correct one. We have to go down here to this guy here, and we have to open this up, and we have to go down here to this guy here, the LH1, and then we have to check to see the target is indeed, or the one that we have, the particular CPU we have for our Freedom K22. And then we go all the way over here to debug, and right now you can see that it's got the wrong debugger. We're going to have to go here down to SimSysDAP debugger and settings. We're going to have to go from any to actually SimSysDAP. If we say OK and OK again, all we have to do now is just hit debug, start debug, and away it goes. Now you'll see everything sort of switches around here. And this is our debug window here. We can see some assembly code up here, and we can see some core registers for our microcontroller sitting here, but we don't really care about that. But notice over here we can click here and set a breakpoint there, or click here and set a breakpoint here, or click here and set a breakpoint there, and we can troubleshoot just as we've done with Visual Studio in the past. We can actually troubleshoot and do things here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up our terminal window here. And remember, when we saved it as COM7, so it's still COM7, we're just going to open it. What I'm going to do, hit our run button, which is this guy. Notice we've got the hi there world. Now at any point I can say escape, let's square bracket 2, shift J, which will clear the screen. Escape, let's square bracket 1, semicolon 1, capital H, which will position us here. And I can say hi there, and so forth. Now if I hit enter, it goes back to the start of the same line as we've seen in the past. Now what we can do is we can stop this, and then we can go window, and we can do reset view to defaults, and we can say restart. And again, we can just double click here to bring this up. And one of the things we can do is we can actually make some changes. We can take out our comments here, can recompile it, and again we have 0 errors. And at this point we can just say debug start, because we've set up all the debug options from the flash controller here, and it's going to switch us back into here. And at this point you can see that we got a different program that we're going to be troubleshooting, and you can see there's more places where we can actually set breakpoints now than we had before. And let's run our program, and running it is just hitting this guy here, and it says hi there world. And this time if we say hi there, how are you, question mark, and hit enter, it actually goes on to the next line. Now we have a program here called blinking LEDs, which will actually blink a red light on and off. And we're going to import that into our compiler. And we're going to call it blinking LED Freedom K22, and we're just going to say import. And we're going to compile it. We're going to say save file. We're going to go up here, right mouse click, open containing folder. We're going to drag and drop that into our DAP link. And once it's there, we're just going to hit a reset button, and we're going to see a red light flashing on and off. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this same program and we're going to export it to Keil and be able to troubleshoot it there. To actually export this again, we're just going to go up here. We're going to right mouse click, we're going to say export program. We're going to hit the first option, just say export. We're going to say save file. We're going to go up here, open containing folder, and we're going to right mouse click, and we're going to say extract all. And again, we're going to browse until we get to, when we hit downloads here, to our Keil directory. We're going to say select folder. We're going to say extract. Then we're going to go to the blinking LED thing here, double click on blinking LED. We're going to open this up. Then we're going to hit the third icon from the left to build it, and we should get 0 errors, which we've done. If we go to debug and hit start debug, again what we're going to have to do is go up here to our flash, configure flash tools. We're going to have to go to device, make sure we've got the right device, and never picks the right device for some reason. We're going to go down to here, and we're going to select this guy. We're going to go down here, select this one here, the third from the bottom. We're going to go over here to debug. We're going to select here Simsys DAP. We're going to go to settings. We're going to say Simsys DAP again. We're going to say OK and OK. And we're going to hit debug, start debug, and away it goes. Now if we run our program, we're going to see our flashing LED as we've seen before. Let's stop our program. And what we're going to do this time is we're going to set a breakpoint here. And we're going to hit a run button. And right now it's saying red LED equals 0, and that turns it on. And so we're going to do a step over. Then when we step over again, it's going to go to red LED equals 1. It hasn't executed it yet. When we hit it again, it's now shut it off. And we hit this again, It's going to go back here and it's going to start again. We can just run it. But here's something interesting. If we step into here, and when we do a step into, which is step 1 line here, we're going to notice that what we're getting is some funny stuff up on the screen. And because this is going through our hardware abstraction layer, we've gone down 1, now 2 levels, and 3 levels. And if we want to get back, we can say step out, and we're back to our code here. So the hardware abstraction layer allows us to have this program running on 174 different boards, and they're all going to run exactly the same way. We're going to say window, and we're going to reset defaults, reset back to here. And what we're going to do is we're going to make some changes. First of all, we'll get rid of the debug thing here. And right now, LED 1 is really the red LED. If we change this to 2 and compile it, 0 errors. And this time if I say debug, it should go right away because we've set up our flash. So this time when I run it, what we're going to see is the flashing green light. And again, we can go back to here and stop this. We can reset. We can then set a breakpoint anywhere we want, such as here. We can run to that breakpoint, and then we can step over and actually see there's a green light on, there's a green light off. So it's very easy to set breakpoints and do troubleshooting with Keil. The only thing we have to remember again is flash. Remember to configure flash tools, make sure it's the right board, and make sure that it's set up so that it's going to use that link, and everything is going to run fine.